My name is Derrick. My title is Dr. Donnell. But my name is Derrick. It's good to see you here. That's just not something to say. It's good to see you here. Some of you all I see time and time again. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being informed. So, a little bit about me. If you know me, you know I don't like to talk about myself. I'm not real good at this part. My wife said to make sure that I hit a couple of highlights just to get your attention. And I'm like, well, why would this get your attention? Well, number one, we'll be celebrating my 25th wedding anniversary this year. Thank you very much, all right? And I have two daughters who are here, grew up in the public system here, school system. One's now with me at FSW, the other's at North. That was part one. Part two, I'm very proud of the service that I gave to my country. I served in the United States Marine Corps officer and enlisted man 100 pounds ago, I know, all right? Other than U.S. Marines, very proud of that. And I know that some of you all here have family members or relatives that serve. That means a lot to me. Number three, I will share with you is that I've served for you as your council person for 8 years. And due to term limits, I had to step back about a year and 9 months ago. So anyone out there who is sane is probably saying, well, what is wrong with you? Why are you running again? What's wrong with you? That's a legitimate question. And the reason why is I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there, is what I heard when I was just sitting back about this LCEC. But I heard there's so much misinformation with the candidates, it's starting up already. There's so much misinformation. The reason why we're in the shade Cape Coral, matter of fact, I do need to see by a show of hands, how many residents of Cape Coral? I need to see where you are, all right? Because make no bones about it, thank you. Hands down, I'm here to get your support. I need it. That's what I'm here for. So that's the objective, to move the needle into the corner of Derrick. But see, we have been our own worst enemy because we started getting off on these headlines, started running with them, and right now I can tell you some stuff and get you fired up. And let's start with the first. The first lady came up here. I know she hadn't run for office before. She said something about a tax. No disrespect. But now you think about that. When she was being honest, and she used that word. By the way, I don't really know you. That's an absolute killer for a campaign. But the reality of a tax is that a governmental entity, that is where it gets its revenue source from. Because governments provide services, and services require taxes. But nobody wants to hear that. They want to hear no more taxes. So then I say, okay, the question, if government provides services, and services rely on taxes, and more people keep coming, then where are we going to get the revenue from? Well, nobody wants to talk about that. It makes them uncomfortable. Because no more tax. So you say, well, I'm running. What do I bring to the table? I will live and die being honest. I'm not going to talk about God bless everybody who put your hat in the ring. God bless you. Because it's coming. It's coming. I know it's coming. But I will live and die being honest. I sleep good at night. I don't worry about running up on anybody anywhere. I have talked. Look here, you want to know how bad? I'm a bad man. Not because I'm a United States Marine Corps officer. Not because I graduated #1 Battalion Honor Man at Paris Island, that's right. But because I taught kindergarten 3 years ago. I'm a bad man. You're laughing. No, I didn't say substitute. I taught those, look, until you teach kindergarten, look here, you don't have a clue. Look, you see the ladies laughing. By myself. The entire day. I'm a bad man. I'm still alive. I've taught from kindergarten all the way through to adults. I've dealt with all generations. Listening at your response to the generations. Here in this room right now, I was just kind of looking. I'm always looking and listening. All the generations are represented. The great generation, right? Baby boomers, millennials, XYZ. I don't see any YZs here. I see some X's. So depending on what generation, and it's a classic study going on right now, is your response to these questions. I get it. I was up there. And for those of us that were in the Cape, come on now. You know where we were back in 2007 when I first took office. if we're gonna be honest, the whole country was just got plummeted. Cape Coral was at rock bottom. And we almost lost our city. I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna use this, I keep using it, and they're gonna kill me for it. But I remember there's a room, you know, there's TV. Canada's just TV time. TV time, you're on TV, you look good, you know, our council looks good on TV for about an hour and a half. That's showtime. That's not where the work is done. Not where the work is done. There's a room up there. I call it the war room on the second floor. Where we get in there and we have staff and we have other folks come in. That's where we get down and we talk real stuff. We don't start just, you know, out there in front of the camera. It's just us in that room and they're taking notes, of course, because it's sunshine. But that's when we really get after it. But what does this mean? What does this mean? What's the impact? What's this impact? And I remember two people, Dolores Bertolini and Jim Birch, were sitting there. This is back now about 2007, 2008, when we were at rock bottom as a city. The services were about to get cut. We were about to lose police. We were still losing. Everything was about to go. And they said, we got to raise taxes. And I looked at them and said, man, you know, if you raise this mill rate, you're done. And Jim Birch and Dolores looked at me and said, I don't care. I'm here for the city. And they did it. Guess what happened in November? Landslide. They were out. I know, please don't tell them I told you that because they don't want me to tell you that. But that's what this job takes those who are going to step out and going to tell you, before you ask me about D.R. Horton, let me tell you about D.R. Horton and the golf course. For 9 years I sat up there and I listened to the people at the golf course say, we're going to have a golf course come hell or high water. For 9 years I've listened to the builder. We're going to get this R1. You're going to change this zoning come hell or high water. And what has happened in 9 years?
Costs us a lot of money.
What has happened to the property in the meantime? Absolutely nothing. So I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, as my wife always constantly reminds me. But what makes you think that if it hasn't happened already, that somehow or another we're going to get great new leadership up here and they're going to change those facets? Bottom line, folks, you're going to ask me about this. Here's what your mayor, Derrick, is going to tell you. You will reach common ground. You will. You're not going to have it all this way. You're not going to have it all this way. I'm a basketball referee and a husband. I already know either way I'm done. How do you know when you do a good negotiation? If you're the negotiator,
Sunshine Law.
I think it's perfect. Even though the thing about me, honesty has to be it. That's what's wrong with government. No honesty, no transparency. That's the, I support B100. You can ask me any question. I'm always going to be honest. That's what's missing. Now,